Hi there and welcome to this video on Programmable Logic Controller Basics Explained. If you've ever wondered what a PLC is and how it works, you've come to the right place. In this video, we'll cover the basics of PLCs, such as what they are, what they do, and how they are programmed. A PLC, or Programmable Logic Controller, is a device that controls machines and processes using logic. Logic is a set of rules or instructions that tell the PLC what to do in different situations. For example, if you want to turn on a light when a button is pressed, you can use logic to tell the PLC to do that. A PLC consists of three main parts: the input module, the output module, and the CPU. The input module receives signals from sensors or switches that tell the PLC what is happening in the real world. The output module sends signals to actuators or devices that make things happen in the real world. The CPU is the brain of the PLC that processes the logic and controls the input and output modules. To program a PLC, you need to use a software tool that lets you create logic diagrams or programs. There are different types of programming languages for PLCs, such as ladder logic, function block diagram, structured text, and more. Each language has its own advantages and disadvantages, depending on the application and preference of the programmer. In this video, we'll use ladder logic as an example of how to program a PLC. Ladder logic is one of the most common and easy to understand languages for PLCs. It looks like an electrical circuit diagram with rungs and contacts that represent the logic. Each rung of the ladder logic has an input condition and an output action. The input condition can be a sensor signal, a timer, a counter, or a combination of them. The output action can be turning on or off a device, setting or resetting a timer or counter, or performing a calculation. Let's look at a simple example of ladder logic that turns on a light when a button is pressed. The button is connected to an input module and the light is connected to an output module. The ladder logic has one rung with two contacts and one coil. The first contact represents the button signal and the second contact represents the light status. The coil represents the light action. When the button is pressed, the first contact closes and sends a signal to the CPU. The CPU checks the logic and sees that both contacts are closed. This means that the output action should be performed. The CPU sends a signal to the output module to turn on a light. The coil closes and shows that the light is on. When the button is released, the first contact opens and stops sending a signal to the CPU. The CPU checks the logic and sees that one of the contacts is open. This means that the output action should not be performed. The CPU sends a signal to the output module to turn off the light. The coil opens and shows that the light is off. This is a very simple example of how a PLC works using ladder logic. Of course, there are many more complex and advanced applications for PLCs in various industries and fields. PLCs can control anything from conveyor belts and elevators to traffic lights and robots. If you want to learn more about PLCs and how to program them, check out our channel for more resources and tutorials. Thanks for watching and don't forget to subscribe for more videos on programmable logic controllers.